Bring our feet together and take a little bend with our legs and place our hands on top of our knees. From here, all we're going to do is circle the knees around. And you can see it perhaps on my feet, but also feel it in your own. That it goes all the way through different surfaces of the foot. So sometimes it's more weight and push through the ball of the foot. Sometimes it goes around the sides, the back. Let's change directions. So the feet are very active. We're going to go one more time the first side and one more time the second side. Let's say 4 or 5 rounds. And with that, really just observe how your feet are coping, how they're responding, managing those knees that are circling. 4 and 5, and the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Coming up, give your legs a little bit of a shake. Now same thing again, feet together, but we're going to keep the hands off our knees. Little bending of the legs and just going around one way, then the other. Other direction, 5 circles, 1. Good, and a little shake. So effectively we are engaging loads of different groups of muscles around the knee, the legs, but also all the way down into the feet. So now we're going to do a similar thing, but just allowing ourselves to explore that a little bit more freely. So take a wider stand that is comfortable. And again, by bringing our sort of memory to the places on how we connected to the floor with our feet, can we do that again, but this time the legs are independent, one can bend, the other one not, and then sliding in as you want to. Letting those feet be really curious, juicy about exploring that ground. As if they want to leave imprints like a cat. Yeah, very nice. And one thing to be aware of while we're doing that is to make sure that the knees are staying quite well supported between the lower leg and the upper leg. So something I'm really trying to avoid is the knee joint hanging or being really strained on either side. So kind of keeping it as if we're keeping it in a track, like a train track, keeping it connected. So sometimes we can allow it to really soften, but with an awareness that it's in line with the lower and the upper leg. And sometimes you can also, just as our feet engaging, tasting that push, sometimes those knees can also enjoy the engagement. Good. And progressively, can we take that movement as a little dance? So all the way that we were thinking about it, let that be secondary, like an echo. It's just something that happens. Finding different ways to connect through the legs, but more in a kind of freestyle, enjoying manner. Wow. Let's put a little bit of music, make that a little dance. And while we're doing what we're doing, the pelvis of course is coming along, and with it the spine, the shoulders and everything. So the whole body sort of start to mobilize. Good, let's leave it there. And we're going to take a little jump up to our shoulders, and I want you to take one shoulder just underneath that sort of bulging top bit, picking it up as if you're really holding it with one hand, and then just dropping it, really releasing that whole area, picking it up and dropping it, picking up, dropping it. 2 more times. Up, drop, up, drop. Very nice. Other side. Just finding a good grip, and up, drop, up, drop, up, drop, drop. Last time, up, drop. This is the sort of thing that, you know, usually we would do with a partner, because it's good to have somebody helping you, but we can also help ourselves. So in these dire times, that's what we will do. So now can we just do it ourselves, picking it up and dropping it, as if those hands help us, and then really fully disengage so it can fall from that shoulder. Fall. Oh, good. Other side. Picking it up and drop. Up, drop, up, drop. 2 more. 1 and 2. Good. Now, what I want us to do is find that little bit of dance in our legs, our feet, our pelvis, and in conjunction, finding that a little dropping in the shoulder. So there's just a little dance. And this time, wherever you are, let's see what you can use of the space, so we can actually also allow ourselves to walk a little bit through those feet. We want to turn it one way to the sofa, the washing machine, sleeping child. Exactly, sometimes you can pick it up together. But as if you want to shake that top part of your spine. Let's become a little bit more versatile with our connection of the feet. Front, back, side. Good. And a little shake. Very nice. From here, we're going to pick up one shoulder, drop it, allowing the other one to fall forward, and again the first one to drop. So I drop one shoulder, drop, the other one falling forward, and again through. So it's 1, 2, 3. And you can see how my head is part of that movement, and it drops 1, 2, 3. From here I'm sending my feet, sending my feet, sending my feet. Yeah, so I'm working from the feet into the knees, into the pelvis and the rest of the structure. 3 times progressively coming up. I'm going 1, drop, drop, drop. 1, 2, 3. And the third one, I can actually allow that foot to come in, step back, forward up, and just letting it go. And open. Yeah, let's just do that a couple of times. I drop 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 comes in, little shift, up and drop. 2 open into first. Yeah? Let's try the other side. Pick up the shoulder, 1, drop the other one through, the other one through. This time the knees go 1, other direction 2, 3, back, up and forward into the first. Yeah? From here, just to finish off, I'm going to open the feet and at the same time opening the arms and feeding from the sternum towards the front, really opening wide and just letting everything hang over. Shaking out those legs. Little bend. Shifting into the front of the hands, popping those feet together and rolling up, up and up. 1, drop, drop, drop. 1, 2, 3. Yeah? So my left shoulder goes, drop. The right shoulder falling through, left shoulder falling through. I'm going round the legs towards my left. 2, 3, the leg comes in and away, up and fall, open into first. Everything opens wide, I fall over, letting it hang. You can shake your head a little bit, bending those legs, arms forward to shift weight, to jump the feet together, rolling up, up, up. Right shoulder picking up, 1, drop 1, left, right. This time the knees go to the right, and 2, and 3, falling in, and away, up, and drop, and open into first. Wide, reaching from the elbows and the chest opposite forward, folding over, letting the leg, the head hang. Shift hands, feet together and up. Let's do it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So we're starting. Left shoulder coming up and drop. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Back, up and fall. Up and open wide, reaching forward, hang, and hands, feet, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. So we're going to work with the idea of drawing, and we're going to draw from our sternum. So the sternum effectively also is something that you find reflected all the way around this plane. So if we can think of sternum not only as one singular point, but also something that can move around the underside of the arm and move around the other underside of the arm as well as the upper back. So yes, these are on the sternums, but if you imagine you're drawing from the sternum, then you can sometimes also let it slide into the next connected sort of point at this height. So now I'm drawing from the back, and again from the front, from the back, the side. And the rest of the body is available to just follow. Good. What we're effectively doing is we're looking at this upper part of the spine and see how we can mobilize it in all the different directions. So if you were to place a finger just where the sternum is and pushing through the fingertips from that particular point, and then using the fingertips to send yourself back. And if you can also try and find the same point with your hand in the back. And have the same thing again. How can you move into it and through it? And sometimes allowing the side, the diagonals to do just that, reaching from the same height as if your spine tries to go through the rib cage, reaching out into the space through the skin. Good. And now we're going to actively include our arms, sometimes as a counterbalance, and sometimes perhaps to go with us. So if I'm going, for example, into that backward space, I can leave my arms forward to counterbalance. But I can also go into the backward space and send my arms and shift the way through, because I'm taking them with me. If I'm going and sending, then I shift my weight more actively. So perhaps if we're taking our arms a little bit out, as though these are our satellites, in that forward, side, backwards, down and upwards space. And we're going to find the same drawing from the sternum and connected places, regions of the upper spine. And letting our hands, like satellites, float a little bit around. Lovely. And essentially, if we're looking at the hands and the sternum, there's a whole pathway in between that we can bring more into play. So with a little bit of rotation, we can find all kinds of connections right into the sternum and out into the hands. If I'm dropping through the elbow, letting the hand rotate, it also brings a movement into the sternum. So let's have a little bit of play there. These satellites feeding through the length of the arm back into the sternum or the back or the sides. So sometimes your attention might linger with the sternum, and the hands and the arms are following. And sometimes it's from the hands that it brings the movement into the sternum.